Hello everyone, this is Luna. In today's lesson, we'll use Blender to create spherical multi-phase materials. First, we'll set the color of each sphere in the geometry nodes, then read the attributes in the material panel to achieve color variation. Now, let's move on to the practical demonstration. Delete all objects, create a cube, and open the Geometry Nodes panel to create geometry nodes. Press Shift+A to create a node. Right-click to set a shortcut for searching. As you can see, I've assigned Shift+Z as the search shortcut, so pressing Shift+Z allows me to search for nodes. Create a sphere, change its subdivisions to 5, create an instance on points node, duplicate the spheres, and reduce their radius to distribute small spheres on the surface of the larger sphere. At this point, all the spheres are instances, which isn't convenient for adjusting colors later. So, we can use realize instances to convert them into polygons. Next, use the Set Material node to assign a material to the model. Open the Material panel. In the World panel, you can see I've loaded an HDR for basic lighting. Switch to the Object panel, create a geometry node, and connect random per island to the color. Now, each sphere appears as a different shade of gray. Add a light for better illumination. Now, we'll use two ramps. The first ramp is set to constant mode to set the brightness of the spheres. The second ramp is set to a color gradient, allowing us to color all the spheres. This gives us a colorful multi-phase sphere. However, if you want to adjust the random values for the brightness of the spheres, it's not very convenient. To solve this, let's go back to the Geometry Nodes panel. First, assign a random value to each point of the large sphere and store it as an attribute. Then, use the Read Named Attribute node to read that attribute. You can preview the brightness of each sphere by pressing Shift plus Ctrl. Link this attribute to the output port to make it accessible to the material. In the Material panel, read the attribute and connect it to a ramp node. Now, simply adjust the seed value of the random node in the geometry nodes, and the color distribution of the small spheres will change. Create a camera and adjust its position. Find a good angle, click Render, and you'll get the image. You can click Save As to save it to your computer. That's how you create multi-phase materials in Blender. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll respond as soon as possible. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next video.